Hey, what's up guys? I'm so excited to make this video. Now, this video is where the money is made. This is what you could call the insider info. And I'm glad to be able to bring it to you guys so that it'll help you guys be able to filter out awesome, profitable private label products. So I have a certain criteria of things that I make sure to look at. Imagine having a big filter, right? The only products we want to get through that filter are the good ones. And now I'm gonna show you what that filter is. Here are the specific criterias that we're gonna look at and make sure this item qualifies to be in our product portfolio and to pursue. Now, the first thing we wanna look at is the age of the product. Now, we can do this by looking at the exact listing that we're looking at and checking to see how long has this been on Amazon. Now, why is that important? Well, a product that's been on Amazon for, let's say, a year, it's collected quite a bit of data during that time. And we're able to see a few things. We're able to see, hey, is this product gonna stand the test of time? Versus imagine looking at a product that's only been on there for 15 days, right? You don't know if this product's gonna last. There just hasn't been enough time to collect the data in order to make that decision. Now, what other reasons why do we want to know the age of the product or the listing? We wanna see how long did it take this seller to get this amount of reviews they have. For example, let's say a seller has 60 reviews and we're looking at it and we're saying, you know what, this looks like a good competitor, it's not too many reviews. I think I can go after it and compete. But now you look and they were able to get 60 reviews in 15 days, right? That is not normal. In fact, the average review rate is under 5% for products sold. That means over 100 sales and under 5 reviews. So knowing that there is a seller who is getting that many reviews that fast, it's gonna be very hard to compete because that means in a few months, they're gonna have hundreds of reviews where our product will just be landing at the Amazon warehouse. But now let's take that same 60 reviews and now we look at the age of the product and it's been on Amazon for a year. Now that 60 reviews sounds like a good idea to go after. So there's quite a few different things we can look at just when it comes to the age of that product and the listing. Now my criteria is I prefer products that have at least been on the Amazon marketplace about 2 months. This gives enough time for some data to be collected that we can put some faith in. Now, I do sometimes go after products that are less than 2 months old, but there has to be a lot of other outside data that would suggest that this is gonna be a product that's here to stay and that's gonna be a good one. Now, the next criteria that we look at is consistent BSR. Now, we've talked about this term before, bestseller ranking. Now, what that is Amazon ranks in popularity products by how fast they sell in the different categories. So we're not talking about subcategories, we're talking about the main category. So home and kitchen, kitchen and dining, baby, cameras and photo. See, these are main categories. And in those main categories, a product that has a bestseller ranking of #1 in that main category, I mean, it is the highest, fastest selling of any product in that category. So when we're talking about a consistent BSR ranking, we wanna make sure that it's not like we're looking at this product, the BSR is very good, it's right into our parameters. However, when we look, we see they just ran a lightning deal yesterday. And so their bestseller ranking is better than it's ever been, right? So is that something that we can say, okay, it's gonna sell this amount this often? No, because that bestseller rank has been inflated by a lightning deal. So we need to go back a ways and to see, hey, is this thing a consistent seller? Does it look like it's seasonal? Does it look like it's steady? Now, as we see later on, I'm gonna show you that sometimes the bestseller rank does get a little skewed, right? When a product goes out of stock, the bestseller rank is gonna start to tank, right? But that doesn't really always reflect that this product's not gonna be good. That just means it went out of stock, and so obviously it's not gonna be getting sales. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that with the bestseller rank, 1,000 bestseller rank in home and kitchen is gonna sell a lot more than 1,000 rank in kitchen and dining. Just because it has a certain sales rank number does not mean it's the even amount of sales throughout all main categories. So keep that in mind, and the Jungle Scout Chrome application will really help you to see the difference in those bestseller rank numbers. So that's the second one, consistent bestseller ranking. Now the third one is market depth. We want to make sure that it's not just one product that's selling well. We want to see a niche that shows deep market depth, multiple sellers who are selling in that niche and who are successful. You can put a lot of faith in if you brought your product to market, you'll be able to get a little piece of that pie, or maybe a large piece of that pie. However, if a niche is dominated by one seller, who knows if it will be able to handle another seller? So market depth is very important to really seeing the demand of a product. The fourth area is competitors' listings. Why is it good to look at competitors' listings? Well, if we're going to bring a product to market, we want to see who we're competing with. We want to say, hey, what do their listings look like? Is there any weak points in their listings? Are they optimized? Do they have enhanced brand content? For example, you only have the ability to put enhanced brand content on your listing if you have a trademark brand. Now, in order to trademark your brand, it takes 8 to 12 months, almost a year. So if there's a really nice listing and it has enhanced brand content and it's completely dialed in, well, if you're bringing a product to market that's the exact same thing as that, it's going to take you a minimum of 8 months to be able to make even a listing that nice. So being able to see, are there any weak points? Are there strong points that these other competitors are doing? Are their bullets optimized? Are they using all 5? Are they putting in very good, accurate product description? How are their images? Do they have good lifestyle images? Infographics? How is their title? Is it well optimized? See, we can start to see who are we going to be competing with, and are there areas that we can improve upon them, or are there areas that maybe we would have a long time before we can make a listing even close to as nice as theirs. Now the next area is price consistency. Now why is this important? Well, what's our worst case scenario? Our worst case scenario is looking to see what is the lowest price another seller has sold at that's going to have a similar product as ours. And if we came to market with ours, if they drop their price to that lowest price, would we be able to still sell and make a profit? Price consistency is also very important because sometimes you'll see a product that has a good BSR rating and a great price, but when you look closer at it, maybe they just raised the price recently. And the bestseller ranking, it's kind of like inertia, right? It doesn't just change all of a sudden day to day. It's slow to react. So they could sell at, let's say, a product, we see it, it looks great, it's $50, it's a good price range, the BSR looks great, but then we look and you know what, they raised the price from $20, which is what they typically sell at, to $50. Now, is that product really going to be selling for $50 and stay consistent in that same bestseller ranking and still create the same amount of sales velocity? We don't know. So we'd have to give it more time to give evidence on if at that higher price range, if it's still going to sell. Also, someone may do a lightning deal, like we've talked about, right? And their bestseller ranking may look amazing. However, their price looks good too. But when we look, we notice that the only reason their bestseller ranking is so good is because the lightning deal yesterday, and we're still seeing some of that remaining impact, even though they raised their price back up. So the current price that we see probably isn't going to have the same amount of sales as what Jungle Scout is showing us. So having a good, consistent price, then we can know, okay, this is approximately how much I can expect the competitors to sell for. And then I can start to really look at my margins and say, is there enough room here for me to make money? And under worst case scenario, if they drop it to this low price that they may have in the past, can I still make money? Can I break even at least to get out of the product? Now, another area that we want to look at is Google Trends. Right? Google Trends can really help us to see, is this product a fad? Is it a trend? Is it something that's been consistent? Now, you recall the fidget spinner, right? It showed this giant spike, and then right after it, straight down, like dropped off a cliff, right? We don't want products like that. We want products that maybe have some volatility, but they've shown to be popular in times past and popular again, and to stay consistent like that, or maybe on an upward trend, or just something even. Now, does that mean just because we see maybe a spike on Google Trends that we wouldn't go for the product? No. actually sometimes you can actually be witnessing the emerging of a new market, right? Fidget spinners was a flash in the pan, something quick. But let me give you an example. I had thought of a product that I saw people had been searching into Amazon for, but it wasn't on Amazon. I tried to find a supplier for it and couldn't find any. Well, I put that off to the side and went for other products. 6 months later, I checked, and guess what? This product is now selling on Amazon. So I reached out to a friend. I said, hey, here's a really good product that you should start sourcing. This is a staple product that someone uses in their kitchen all the time in day-to-day life. And it wasn't really on the market yet, but I could tell people were interested in it. And I looked at Google Trends, and we see it start to climb, right? Now, this item is definitely not one of these flash-in-the-pan toys. It's the emerging of a new market, and you're able to capitalize that at the very beginning. So just because you see a product shooting up like this on Google Trends, it doesn't always mean that it's a flash in the pan, a fad product that's just a trend. Do a little more research. Is this some new toy that just got invented? Or is this a staple product that you see is really going to stand the test of time? So Google Trends is a very good way to filter out some of these things and to get a better overall step back, overall big picture look at your product. So now that brings me to our final area. This is looking at the product reviews. The product reviews, they basically tell you, the market is telling you what you have to do to earn their business. Even products with 5 stars typically have a few 1 stars or 2 stars or 3 stars, which will show perhaps a weakness in the product that you can fix. Let me give you an idea of some of the things that we want to look for in a product before we bring it to market. We want to look to see, can we potentially do a quantity change? Maybe this item is sold in a pack of 4. Can we bring it to a pack of 6 and would customers want it? When we look at the reviews, sometimes it tells us that. Sometimes you'll see customers saying, even the 5-star reviews, I love the product, I bought 6 of these, so on and so forth. And you can say, okay, if I offered a case pack of a little bit more of these, then it looks like the market would accept it. Now, another area that the reviews can tell you is if there's a way that you can improve the functionality of a product. The reviews will say, I wish it did this, or I hate that it does that. And they might be very simple things. So you could take a note and say, okay, if I fix this one thing, the market is already accepting this product the way it is, but if I brought and fixed this one item, this one section, the functionality of it, then I know for sure this product would be accepted. Next is a quality change. Let me give you an idea what a quality change could look like. Perhaps it's the material something's made out of, right? There's a lot of very eco-friendly people. There's a lot of very health-conscious people. So maybe changing a material to make the quality a little better, or maybe making it more durable, or something along those lines. Again, the reviews will paint a clear picture on what you have to do to that product. And finally, a bundle. That's another thing that we could do when we look at a product. Is there something that I could bundle this item with? We also want to make sure that the competitors aren't big name brands. What comes along with big name brands are a lot of customers who have strong brand loyalty. And it would be very difficult for us to take those customers away from those name brands to buy our private label brand, which doesn't really have any notoriety yet. It's much easier to go after products that are competing against other private label sellers. In the next video, I'm going to show you how I go through some of these products that I found, put them through these criterias, and come out with awesome private label product ideas that I'm ready to go ahead and start contacting suppliers with and sourcing and asking for a sample. All right, let me turn on my computer real quick and let's jump right in.